wasn't the best shot. I mean, if you're going to play that shot, you always err on the side of it and it's too thin, but the idea then is to get it back to the baulk cushion, leaving a mid-range pot here for Ronnie. And the one thing he has been doing, regardless of missing century breaks or making century breaks and not having them count, is the fact that his potting has been absolutely superb. So this is the first one of the day. How does he handle this one?
Pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, right in the heart of the pocket. It's okay. You'd be a little bit annoyed that he caught the yellow. Not certain when he's got a straightforward path to play for the black here.
Seven.
And he got a lot of spin on that, but guessing the pink was no good. All down to the previous shot, of course. Should have got better position on that red in the centre.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Yes, Alexander has beat Bing Tong, one of the better Chinese players. He's up in Sheffield in Victoria's, and he's a very good player. He beat him 4-2, and then he beat one of the other Chinese players again then in the next round. I'm not quite sure how I can pronounce his name, but he's a good player anyway. It's Zhang Jing Ang, I think it is. 4-1 he beat him, so he's got some form. Just a matter if he can hold himself together playing Ronnie O'Sullivan on the match table. Who knows? Could have a wonderful temperament for all we know.
There's one thing for certain now, he's going to have to get a better length with his cue ball once again. Nowhere near the baulk cushion. Leaving Ronnie with his hand on the table, and this type of red, you're asking for trouble.
One.
Beautiful strike there, the ball. Look at what's this now? He hardly hit it. And perfect on the black. No effort put into the shot. Seems very easy, but it's the timing that counts.
Eight.
Just overrun it a little bit, but we may be able to roll this in and just nudge off the pack to get position on the black in the opposite corner. Now decided he didn't fancy that, but
9.
he didn't play that too well. Reds are open, but he's not good on the colour.
I think Ronnie likes to bully the boys that's down low in the rankings, you know, early on up in the reds. Can't blame him. Again, I'm sure he'll be nervous playing against Ronnie here. Who wouldn't be?
11.
Wasn't clean, but he's still on the black.
Yeah, I think is a, as you say, bullying, but also stamping your authority. I think if you've got the ability of Ronnie O'Sullivan, that's why obviously he's a big favourite, and to underline that ability, and you've got to be aggressive, I believe, early on in the match.
19.
Yes, Stephen Hendry's had a good saying when he was in, I think it was Trump was playing. And he said there's two things you've got to get right when you play out there. One is the cue action, but the main one is your mind. And Ronnie gets in the mind, doesn't he? Let's be honest about it. You're trying to struggle for a 20 break and he knocks 100 in 5 minutes or something. Got to be strong, got to be prepared for it, and got to be aggressive. I think Alexander, with those safeties you said, John, when you're a bit nervous, you don't quite get through the ball and it doesn't go past the box line, and then Ronnie's there and knocking the long reds in it.
27.
Still a few frames to go. Hasn't really been given a chance yet, has he?
No, Ronnie in perfect position.
33. 34.
You'd be very surprised if he didn't clinch the frame now at this visit. But there's still a good couple of positional shots need playing.
Forty. 41. 48.
So there you see it, I'm just looking for a couple of reds, a couple of colours. It's not that straightforward now. He played a little cannon, it's not gone perfect. So he needs to do a little bit of work with the cue ball here to get position.
49.
So there's pink and one more red, but this pink is missable. Oh, right in the heart of the pocket once again, but because of the difficulty of the pink, he made certain of the pot. He's not perfect on this frame ball.
55.
Well, there you go. That's the talent of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Difficult pot, not to him. 63 points to lead, 59 remaining. So Alexander Wilson-Backer, he's not going to pot a ball here unless Ronnie's to miss and he fancied a bit of table time.
61.
And of course, in a way, that this is what the opponents who play Ronnie for the first time are half expecting him to do anyway, aren't they? Which doesn't help.
It's like, I knew this was going to happen job, isn't it?
68.
If you've been talking about his break building, that got to be honest, he was a wonderful potter, he always has been, and they don't talk too much about that, although he makes the breaks and his position is superb. His safety has also improved him quite a lot since he went away and reared, and he made a big difference to Ronnie winning the World Championship there.
77.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think that short time he spent with Ray Reardon really helped him. Just look at positions where it wasn't just a case of playing the up and down safety, but looking where you could put the cue ball to cause your opponent problems. Now, I'd say we'll see a century here, but you never know. We should be all right now because there's no reds to bring back up on the table for the referee. Perfect on the yellow. green and
97.
brown for the ton.
$96.
Well done.
100.
And what's that? Century, career century, 994. Absolutely superb.
105. $111.
What can you say? Absolutely brilliant start there from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Never gave his opponent a chance. His opponent never even had a chance of a pot. And Ronnie O'Sullivan takes the first frame with the century.
Yeah, you can hardly wriggle out of that particular century, could he? Number 994, as John Virgo was saying. He looks like he certainly means business this time.
Well, that was top draw, wasn't it? It was perfection from the word go, you know, and I was wondering, would he do something silly then on the brown, just roll it to the all or go for the double or something? Yeah, but no, it's good. You know, he's clean shaven today as well. You know, we said as he walked out, I said to you, he's on his game today. You can see he's a different. He looks like a different Ronnie O'Sullivan today. He looks like he's there to mean business.
The body language is good, we like it. So he's on to 994, 6 away from that magical 1,000 century mark. We'll be back in a moment with that one. Let's hear from the other Welshman, though, who followed Dwayne Jones out of the tournament earlier on. This is Jack Jones from Cwmbran. If you remember, he had a memorable start of the week. He knocked out fellow Welshman Matthew Stevens on day one and then Peter Lines. But round three, as far as it gets for him, a 4-1 defeat to Joe O'Connor, who beat Kyron Wilson yesterday.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare from beginning to end, to be honest. Just didn't get going right from the beginning, and obviously if that happens, you're going to lose. It's very disappointing for all the Welsh players. I think, like, all of us struggle here, to be honest, with, I don't know what it is, but obviously friends and family come in to watch and stuff, and expectations and stuff like that. It's a lot different to any other tournament we play in, probably, for that reason, but yeah, hopefully, like, in the near future, one of us can do really well here.
Yeah, we wish him all the best in the future, and Dwayne Jones as well. Disappointing that once again we've got no Welsh players left in the tournament. You wouldn't have thought that those two would be the last two left in it, but you know they're all out.
Yeah, well, obviously with Dwayne Jones having that win yesterday and on the TV table, there's only one way really he could go, was come back down to earth with a bump, and unfortunately for him, he did. But, you know, with Jack Jones there, I don't know what it quite is with Jack. There seems to be something missing at the minute. Fantastic cues to the ball, puts a lot of work in. He wins matches, but he doesn't seem to get on a run, and that's a little bit worrying.
It's another reminder earlier on as well with Dwayne Jones, just how you can go from that high of beating Judd Trump and then losing 4-0 the following day. But let's carry on with this one then, and Erzenbacher to break in frame two.
And the usual red has been left on and people break. I don't know why they do that. They still keep putting the cue ball in the same place for the break off instead of moving it across the balk line and changing the direction the ball will come. Ronnie didn't like that when the tongue was out. When he's playing really well, it comes as a shock when he misses a pot. Oh, a long way. Too thin, much too thin. Hasn't left anything easy, of course, as usual. No, and then needs to get a tight safety here behind the green. It's a bit better. Much better. Ray Reardon used to say, they can't pot him when they can't see them. He was a great tactician, when you Reardon. Tremendous, 6-time world champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't too well a couple of months ago, but thankfully he's on the road to recovery. I think everybody was suffering from the old colds and flu over Christmas. Another weak safety. Catching the blue, full in the face. Mind you, it's a tight squeeze this. There's not all the pocket available. Oh, well, he didn't need all the pocket.
1.
You can see the screw back then for the bar colours. You know, he doesn't hit it, did he? Just strokes it right through, and got a long follow through. His elbow tends to drop and then goes underneath his body. That's what the long follow through is. But he's so straight now in the cue as well with the alignment. Working with Stephen Feeney on sight right. I thought he was a sight good before. Ronnie's enjoying it with him anyway. Just giving him a bit of confidence.
4.
People will laugh at you when you say that, but we all need confidence, including O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and also I suppose something to try, something new to make the practice part of the game. Because we see them out in the arena, but all the hard work that goes in before, it can get you down a little bit. So if you can be working on something new, it does fire up a little bit more interest. As you can see, he just managed to
5.
screw through the gap for the pink.
I've just written an article about practice from players. It's called The Game Before the Game. It's from a bit of the golf. I always read, they're excellent, the golf books. Though I'm talking about snooker, there's good things come out of that.
11.
How to practice, and not talking about your cue action, doing all these things, but the other things that count, John, you know, which, as we were speaking about yesterday, about the Chinese players, they never had that sort of backing of playing amateur snooker and playing a lot of safety and shot selection. And I enjoy doing articles, you know, it excites me, to be honest. It takes a long time, but really enjoy them. He's lost his position there.
Yeah, he just flicked the wrong red. Yeah, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, and it is a fact, and we hear it so many times, there's not a day you don't learn something new.
If you want to.
If you want to, yeah. If you listen.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 12.
They say that the less you talk, the more you learn.
We just saw there, Ronnie just flicked the wrong red. But as I always say, if you pot the ball, you get a chance to play the next shot, so it's a good safety. Asking a question now of Alexander to try and find that baulk cushion. Missed the red.
Anonymous. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
There is a pot on. And Ronnie may decide to play it, because he wouldn't expect Alexander to miss the reds again. Just off straight, so he can play the run through off 2 cushion for the black to the middle.
The reason Alexander missed that red is because there's so much pressure on him, because he couldn't hit the black on the way back, so he had to hit it very thin, and then of course they didn't hit the ball. That's what Ronnie does to them, because he could have played a containing safety, but he'd know then the next shot he'd be on the top cushion behind the green with Ronnie.
8.
He's an all-rounder now, there's no doubt about it, Sullivan.
Just the
Ronnie
pace.
O'Sullivan, 8.
He didn't come straight enough on the red, so he had to force the cue ball through the reds. And how good you are when you hit them that hard. You've got to be right in the heart of the pocket. And he wasn't. So here's my first opportunity to see Alexander and see what he's made of. And Ronnie, probably.
One.
Well, the reds are in a good position, the colours are not. Got a bit of work to do. I don't think the black was past that red. Into the centre pocket. The pink's out of commission more or less. And blue's off its spot, so you have to do a bit of hard work here. Needs to go. You have to play and get on that red and then get the black on his spot, but he's a bit short of pace there. Well done.
6.
It's always more difficult when you run out of position and you get a more difficult shot. You can blame yourself for it and miss the shot. Needs to get that red out of the way, there's no doubt, by the black there. That's better. Much better. Maybe 100 coming up here, John?
9.
Yeah, I think he'll just be happy to win the frame at this visit.
10.
But now he's nicely on the black. You get the black back on its spot. It's a good chance. And that's what he's got to do if Ronnie makes any semblance of a mistake. Got to punish him. And that's a nice positional shot.
17. $18.
Just the wrong side of straight, so it's a deep screw. This would be the best way, because those two reds just above the black will both go. So you play a deep screw here, just a trace of right hand side, what we call reverse side, to get on those reds. Tried to force it in. That wasn't the way to play it. He might still be on a red to the right middle.
.6.
Nicely done. He's taken these well, you know. I think he's got a good temperament. I've watched him play a few times.
33. 34.
It's good to play and think exactly when you're practicing, bring that into the match and play like that. Otherwise you start thinking of other things which are not so good.
Obviously would have preferred to be a little bit straight. It needs a deft touch here if you're going to play for the... Well, he's trying to play a little cannon, it appears. Didn't catch it quite right. Didn't play to cannon that red. He wanted to run past that one and kiss the one on the right hand side. So just got out of perfect position again. Played a good recovery to the middle pocket the last time. Can he do it now? 17-point lead. Nicely played.
42.
And of course now that cue ball beginning to travel up and down the table, so it's all about Good line, good length with this cue ball if he's going to clinch the frame at this visit. Needs a good positional shot though to get back in good position. You'd think the green is the obvious ball, but he's probably thinking the green's missable. The brown isn't. But he's cued that nicely. Couldn't have cued it better. Excellent shot.
46. 47.
First chance he's had, really. Didn't score a point in the first frame, but he's doing well here.
54.
A great chance now to draw level with Ronnie O'Sullivan. 31 points in front. Just needs the red after this black. And once again, perfect position.
62.
Safe now.
Yeah, very impressive. Okay, he played a few positional shots that weren't inch perfect, but he recovered well. Top quality snooker. Could see that century you talked about, Terry.
Well, he's a good player. Yeah. It's just a matter of how many chances you get against Ronnie, isn't
70.
it? And but he's certainly taken everything out of this one. He doesn't have to get 100. He just wants a frame on the board. Oh, not quite.
Alexander Ulsenbacher, 73.
Sullivan stays in his chair. And Alexander has won his first frame.
Yeah, we didn't necessarily see that coming, did we, after Ronnie O'Sullivan took the first frame in smooth fashion, but as the guys were saying there, that was excellent stuff from him, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, obviously the only shots he'd had to play in these opening two frames was the safety shots, and he'd mucked quite a few of them up, but Ronnie missed that red, not getting on it right, going through the pack. And to be fair then to the young lad, first chance of this match. He's done really well.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be back in a moment with that to see what happens in frame 3. Still lots going on in next door, of course, across the arena. Let's take you to table 2. And Ian Burns, who was a quarter-finalist here last year before he lost to Noppon Sangkam, who we'll see later on, taking on Mark Allen, a semi-finalist in 2016 at the Welsh Open.
54.
A good start by him, going 2-0 up in that match just next door. But Ronnie O'Sullivan won all then against Alexander Ulsenbacher, the top-rated player in Switzerland. We didn't get much chance to talk about him earlier on, but another one of these kind of mid to lower-ranked players, I guess, who just about earns enough money to keep ticking over.
He is, but to be fair, I mean, I think he's only just come back on the tour. He came on last year, and he's a young lad. But he's done his apprenticeship in all the EBSA and IBSF events, and he got back on the tour after dropping off, I think, the first time, winning the European Under-21s to get straight back on. The first time he got on, I think, through Q School. So he's a very, very capable player. And he did have a run to a semi-final a couple of seasons ago. Very, very good. And Ronnie now will know if he lets him in, he's more than capable of taking him.
Are you going to revise your thoughts on that 1,000 centuries, by the way, from Ronnie? He got 994 in first frame. I think you said earlier in the week that you didn't think he'd get to 1,000 this week. But
no, I didn't, but he made it in his interview yesterday. I know he kidded about a bit. Am I saving it for something special or am I not? I don't know what I'm... So I think he's got something up his sleeve, and I think even if he had the opportunity to do it this week, something tells me this won't be the week that he's going to do it.
We shall see. Well, he's got work to do still to get through to the next round and then possibly the quarterfinals tomorrow. But let's go back in.
So Ronnie gets frame 3 underway. And yes, he knows he's got a match on. That was very impressive from Alexander Ersenbacher in that last frame. Got this pot on, but I'm not certain if he can get round the back of the black. Well, he's digging in. This makes the pot so much more difficult. Trying to swing it round. Yeah, it's just the pace you have to inject. He's kissed the blue. But he's not left anything that easy. Yeah, whenever you're striking down like that with that amount of pace, makes the pot twice as difficult.
May be able to pot the red off the cushion there on the left corner. May go. Oh, it's a bit tight. Yeah, it would have thicker than that. It would have gone off the red then into the pocket. Wasn't easy.
One.
At the moment, I don't think the black is available into the left corner. Ronnie likes to get in and around the black and have the black available into both corners. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about that. So playing for this red, he'll be able to swing round the back of the black and the red to the left of it. If it's a fraction too hard, he'll be on the pink.
7.
In actual fact, he's just a fraction too soft. He'd like to play for the red to the left of the black, but he can't do that off this shot.
He's not on the red he wanted. To the right of the pack. He got a wrong pot here, but Bridgin's going to be slightly awkward. Just uses a little bit of effort on those shots. Oops. Didn't like the right-handed one, so he's off to the left hand now. Needs a nudge. Oh, not quite. Can see 17. The reds, but didn't get on the red. Oh, he's went up there left-handed now. With the rest, he's trying everything. Just about get through that, past the blue there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 17.
Well, close, but once again, playing it with pace, you've got to be so accurate. But it was a poor positional shot off the yellow, in all honesty. But this time, well, he has left the red, I think, to the left corner, but it's going to be a good shot to get position on the black. Got to control this cue ball nicely.
One.
Well, just about on the black, I think. Not perfect. Well, is he on the black? No, he can't. So he's looking at this tricky pink, it has to be said, to the middle. There's pressure on this. Right in the heart of the pocket. And they're all confidence builders, these shots.
7. 8. 15.
He's quite happy to play very close position in. I must say, in the last frame when he made that 70 break, good quality
16.
stuff. I think Ronnie is, hit a few shots too hard to open the pack too early in 2 of the frames. They got away with one of them, but I don't see the point in him doing, that sort of thing with the rest there at full pace, trying to screw the ball back half ball. It's like pushing the boat out a bit.
23. 24.
2 down from the pink will go to the left corner, as will obviously the one that's separated slightly. So I shouldn't have a problem getting position on the next red. It's a good chance, this.
30. 31.
That's a slip. Just the wrong side of the blue, so he can't get close now to his next intended red. And it's not so much the pot that's going to be difficult, he's got to control the cue ball.
36. 37.
Oh, another delightful recovery shot. No hesitation. Perfect on the black. I would say at the moment, Terry, he's relishing the challenge.
44.
Well, let's be honest about it. Ronnie spread his own reds about, and if he misses, he'll give him a good chance and boost his confidence, rather than keep it a little bit tighter. Not Ronnie's way,
45.
really. He likes to go for them, I think, when he's playing the lower ranked players. Looking good now.
52.
Yeah, he'll have to go up for the blue. He wants to get the right side of the blue this time. Well, so interested in getting the right side of the blue. What did he do?
52.
Took his eye off the pot. How many times do we see that? So Ronnie comes to the table unexpectedly 35 points behind.
And he showed a replay of the shot, and he jabbed at the ball. It's going to possibly cost him the frame. And you'll have a look at that later.
Yeah, it's called seeing the winning line.
8. 9.
Ronnie will still have the problem with the red that's closest to the left-hand side cushion, but boy, he'll just be glad to be back at the table. The frame looked there for the taking.
$16. 17. 18.
just got a slight angle to play for that red. Just below the pink, but it's the red near the side cushion that's the one that will be causing Ronnie some concern. Just 13 points behind now. Can do what he likes on this red. I mean, I know he's straight, but he can screw back to roughly where he is now, leave a nice angle on the pink.
$23.
Now, you would think he'd play the cannon. Got the cannon. Couldn't have played it much better. Problem is with that, when you catch it full, you leave the cue ball near the cushion. 6 points behind now. Now, what sort of an angle has he got? Thinner on the black than he would like. So, good cueing needed here. And got wonderful shot. So 1 point the lead, up to and including the blue, and this will really hurt Alexander Ersenbacher. He was just a couple of pots away from winning this frame.
$41.
But fair play to Ronnie. Having been given this unexpected opportunity, he's jumped all over it. Just the blue needed to go 15 points in front with 13 remaining.
$50.
And then goes the pink.
56.
Well, we had 100 from Ronnie, 118 in the first, 70 from Alexander Ersenbacher in the second, a 52 from Alexander in that one, but he missed an easy red, and that clearance of 63 gives Ronnie O'Sullivan a 2-frame-to-1 lead.
He's making it look so simple there, Ronnie O'Sullivan, towards the end. You get an opportunity against him, and if you don't take it, you're gonna live to regret it. He paid the price. He literally took his eye off the ball, didn't he, Ersenbacher, with that misread?
I just think it's a little bit of complacency. You know, we're going to see this red now, and you know, he could pop that. He'd play that 1,000 times and never miss it again. I just think he thought, I'm going 2-1 up here, and he just took his eyes off the potting angle.
As John was saying, he can see the finish line in sight, and he thinks, I'm there.
Well, obviously,
and the concentration goes.
Yeah, the finish line in that frame, but obviously a long way to go to win the match, and normally you start missing when you see the finishing line for the match. But, I mean, that red there, it was that easy. He would have thought there is no way he could possibly miss it, and he just hasn't given it the time or the concentration that the shot needed. But we talk about changes in games and changing points, and he's missed a massive trick there.
And it's Ronnie who's got the 2-1 lead. We have a contest, though, here this afternoon. Table 2, then, keeping you up to date with what's happening just next door. And we talked about this earlier on. Ian Burns going into a 2-0 lead. He's going to take a 3-0 lead over Mark Allen, who is the world number 6, but going through a bit of a rough time at the moment. Semi-finalist here just a few years ago. Ian Burns then taking the pink and then the black to go 3-0 in front against Mark Allen. Oh, he didn't need a black, 18. In fact. There it is. That's enough to take that 3-0 lead. Let's bring you some other notable scores from elsewhere then. And what catches the eye, perhaps, there is Barry Hawkins, who was last year's runner-up. He's 2-0 down against Michael Giorgio. And Neil Robertson 1-0 up against Paul Davidson. Stuart Bingham, who has done well in this tournament over the recent years as well. In 2017, he won it, of course. He's 1-0 up against Martin O'Donnell. And Zhang Anda, the man who knocked out our home hero Mark Williams last night, is 1-0 up against Elliot Slessor. But you talked about this game here now and the balance of power between these two psychologically. Where is it now? Because, you know, he had that frame where his confidence was right up. How will he be feeling now, Ersenbacher?
Well, I think, you know, all Alexander had done in the first frame and a bit was played safety shots, and he was short on them, which let Ronnie in, and Ronnie had the century, as we all know, the first frame. Second frame, Ronnie missed, you know, an easy red for him, really, and Alexander had that great break of 70. And then Ronnie in the next frame went for a couple that maybe shouldn't have gone for, a bit loose, as Terry said in commentary, and Alexander looked fantastic then until he missed that red. That could be a massive turning point. 2-1 up to 2-1 behind against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Huge difference.
You never get the chance back again. That's the problem, that's the pressure. He's only 2-1 down, mind. He hasn't lost the match yet. He's not the favourite to win it, obviously. But I think he's put a good show on so far, apart from that red. He turned that pot down on the right there, because he'd have to cannon into the red below the black, so just played a good safety. Oh, it's not quite touching the cushion, but it's not bad. It's never far away with Ronnie. He's got a lovely touch with the safety.
Yeah, and in a way for Ronnie O'Sullivan supporters, it was a good sign he turned down that red, because as you say, he couldn't avoid the kiss on the red near the top cushion. And funny enough, you were talking about Mario Burney, one of the great amateur players in Welsh snooker, and he always used to say, you've got to be fair to your own ability. You can't take liberties with it. You know, if you've got ability, you've got to give it a chance. Just don't play shots that aren't on. Well, nice to see Ronnie there, playing the correct shot. Good line, a little bit pacey.
Now we talk about him bullying and, you know, getting on top of players, but Ronnie, you know, he has I bet he's had a look at this boy and think, well, he's not a bad player, you know, not going to, you know, do silly things against him. He appreciates a good player, and somebody doing well against him, he always has. He used to say he never liked snooker, but he loves it. Who wouldn't love it when you play the game?
One.
Tends to make the game a bit easier than most of the other players. Good pot there. Got the first chance again. The green is a possibility, but I'm not sure why he hasn't gone for the blue here. Have to play a power shot with brown or green, which obviously makes the shot more difficult, because you either got to have a longer backswing or a faster delivery to get the spin on and move the cue ball down towards the reds. Well, it's a screw back on the green. It's dead straight, should be okay. Oh, it's gone too far. Oh, no, it's not bad. That stop there is okay. He did nicely. Gentle shot here, not the easiest of pot. Well done.
5.
Well, he's in again.
Point. 12.
He's okay. He can just pass the game past there. Past the other red. I thought he was over. Could have to bridge over it. It would have been difficult then. So he needs to stay in close now. Keep his focus on what he's doing rather than what's around him.
20. 21.
It's okay.
20.
Just got it far enough up the table to drop this in and get on the black.
29.
The reds are pretty well sat, you know. I mean, if you can screw back for the one on the extreme right, maybe a few others it may go, or at least they're easy to split. He's going a bit further up for the one by the pink.
36.
Oh no, he was never going to get
37.
through there. That's another job, I'm afraid. If we watch that again, we'll see how quick he queued. Short little backswing and a quick delivery. There he goes. About 2 inches backswing.
I mean, he never delivered the cue at all. I mean, it looked as though he only had to play a little screw shot for the pink into the middle, but got no action on the cue ball at all. There's a good chance it's gone. But to be fair, he's followed it up with a good safety.
Is that
He was
Wilson
right as
behind?
smooth as Ronnie on all reds here.
37.
But he'd be kicking himself. Should have made more there. No.
Foul. Numbers. Alexander Wilson back for 4.
Well, I don't know. Is it worth taking these on? They've been going nicely along the cushion. Well, he's having it replaced. I don't know whether I would have done.
Well, I suppose if Ronnie hit it a little bit too hard this time, he may leave an easier shot. He's got to hit that red. That's what he's going to do, or try to do. If you can dislodge it off the cushion, you may leave him a chance. But on the other hand, he may not.
Yeah, Ronnie's gone back to his seat. Doesn't want to put the referee under any pressure. And Brendan Moore is the marker here.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you happy, Alex?
Very good. It's good to do that. I like to see players do that. Go to the table, you know, get off the table, sit in his chair and leave it to the referee.
Yeah, as you say, didn't put any pressure. Has he flicked it this time? Ooh.
Nowhere near it.
Well, he must have hit it.
Oh yes, did he?
Yeah, he just flicked it.
I got a pair of glasses and 2 binoculars on, and I
Daniel
didn't see
falls
it.
off, please.
Mister just clipped it.
That's what took us off the tour, Terry.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just watch Alexander play this and we'll just show you. Sometimes, obviously, you can't blame the referee because they want to get in close. Just have a quick look. Here's the last bit of it. What's the lights on the ball? They never move.
Just shaved it, I think, John.
Yeah, no doubt he hit it. But the lights on the balls is a theory gone out the window.
Now then, this is not dead straight, I don't think. But if he's going to play the screw back, it's going to make it a lot more difficult. Told you it was more difficult.
1.
Beautiful shot. Got the screw on to make sure, because the red out to the left of the pack would have been on for Ronnie if he'd missed it. With no spin. But he's back on the green again.
Yeah, and you feel if he gets a good positional shot here, it could be the frame winner. He's got a nice angle on the green. But he didn't get into it enough. He's still on this red that's round about the pink spot area, but he should have been straighter on it.
I don't think you put any side on that. You don't needed a touch for right hand side. You're taking it down closer to this red, a better angle. He's potting them anyway.
5.
And he split a few reds there now. That was something good for him to have a look at. Now then, he's lost his attention in the balls twice now and missed easy shots. Is he still thinking about that? Oh. You've got to back him now.
11.
91% success. That's 94 for O'Sullivan. That's very good.
12.
This black will put him 60 points in front with 75 remaining. So just looking for another red and a colour. Red and a black would do it.
19.
Put him 68 points in front with only 67 remaining.
The other thing that the likes of Sullivan, Henry, John Higgins, the top players and Trumps in the world, you know, when you get an opportunity like this and the balls are wide open, you think, I better not miss now. Unless they be all gone. And sometimes it puts you off.
You still need a red, but he's played for the pink. The pink will put him 67 points in front, 67 remaining.
It always looks easy, but there's always a few dangers if the white runs a little bit too far or a little bit short, leaves the wrong angle to get on the next red. Potter, a great first red. Start this break off.
Yeah, Ronnie's safety play in this particular frame hasn't been inch perfect. He left the first chance for Alexander and he's left this one. Alright, as Terry said, good pot to get in, but you expect that from these players.
26.
So this red to go 68 points in front with just 59 remaining. Got a choice of reds. Got a straightish one, he's got one that's a 3/4 ball pot. Looks a formality.
I think it's true back off the other red for the pink there because that's the best colour to get onto these balls, but they're well set, the four reds. 68 in front, 75 now.
34.
He's flying the flag for Switzerland, there's no doubt about that. He's playing as well as Ronnie O'Sullivan. He doesn't want that one back. That was a lovely shot.
43.
Hello?
Well, I don't do a Ronnie.
49.
Oh, you put him off then, John. Excellent. 2 frames each. Very, very good quality in this match.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Swiss roll then. He's level at 2-2 there, having a bit of fun at the end perhaps, and the hint of a smile on his face. It looks like he's enjoying it. They said that he doesn't look like he's under pressure. It looks as if he is having fun.
You just took the words right out of my mouth.
Swiss roll?
That is exactly what it looks like. It looks like he's having a great time out there. And so he should be, you know. He's playing very, very well, and he can feel a bit unfortunate. He's not 3-1 up if he hadn't missed that easy red in the previous frame. But this opening red that we're just about to see now, this is as good. This is as good as you can strike it. He could play this shot again 10 times.
Applause from Ronnie.
Not into this good. Yeah, big applause by Ronnie. Like Terry said, you know, Ronnie does like the better players when he's playing against, and the youngsters when they stand up to him and play. He does like that. You know, he shows a lot of respect to players when they stand there toe-to-toe with him, and this is what this young lad's doing.
I'm not sure if we can see that shot again, but how tricky is it to play it? Because I reckon if I had a go at it, I might be able to pot it, you know, after a few attempts, but it's getting the screw back up the table. I mean, how tricky is that?
Well, I've never seen you play, and I can tell you wouldn't be able to play that shot,
no.
Ian.
All
with
right,
the best,
okay.
with the
maybe if I had 10 attempts at it, I might get it in, but it's the screw back that's the tricky thing to do.
It's the cue through the ball. It's the cue through the ball dead straight. I mean, there's a lot of distance between both balls. He struck that right at the bottom of the cue ball, in the middle of the cue ball, which is the hardest thing to do, and to impart all the backspin on. That was a brilliantly struck shot, and no doubt with a bit of practice here, you might be able to do it. I won't say won't,
yeah,
then
thanks.
you might.
Thanks for writing off my chances of a long pot. You're probably right. 2-2 then, what a contest we have. It's not going the way, well, as with the opening 2 rounds for Ronnie this week, not quite going the way we might look at it on paper and think it's going to go.
No, but fair dues to young Alexander Uzenbaka. You know, he's played a proper game, and so has Ronnie. Ronnie hasn't really took liberties today. I mean, if Ronnie had played in this match like he did the very first match that we were on about after, he'd have lost this match comfortably already, you know, with the way young Uzenbaka has played. So it's been a very good standard, and let's hope it continues. But very good match indeed.
Yeah, I like all those sentiments. Excellent stuff. But Ronnie won't be pleased with that break-off shot, because we've already seen that Alexander Uzenbaka is a good long potter, and he comes to the table. Cue ball's not close enough to the baulk cushion, and he has a chance of this red, and the black is available to the opposite corner if he fully commits.
I'm not sure if he played that cannon on the red, but I think he can get through for the black to the pot now. I must say the standard on the tour, John, is you know, been boosted. You know, they're having so many matches now, and even against the top players, you know, there's 128 come in here, and they some people say, well, you know, he's 68 in the world or whatever, but you can see they're still very strong players.
Yeah, and I think another key important thing to that is the fact that they're playing under these conditions more often than, say, we used to do in our day. I mean, you'd play maybe a few tournaments a year. Will it drop? Yeah, just went at enough pace. So you get used to these type of conditions and the tables. I know they always play slightly different, but a lot different from the tables you play at probably in the snooker club. But he gets first chance here, and the way he's been playing so far, you expect him to make a few.
And a good long pot here. I think he was playing to go round that red, but it doesn't matter. I remember when I turned pro, John, and I had to go to the WSA then, of course, to ask if you're good enough to be a professional. And I was very pleased to go there, but then I had a bit of a disappointment because Steve Davis came there at the same time as me. We only had 2 tournaments, the UK Championship and the World Championship. That's all it was.
That was it. And the others were invitations.
15, sorry.
Nice angle on the black, so you won't be able to resist playing the cannon here. Just don't take your eyes off the pot. Plenty of power needed here. Oh, well, he's decided not to play that. Well, that could be a wrong decision. It's his choice, of course, but couldn't have wished for a better opportunity there. And he's not perfect on any red here.
He's got 2 in the middle, hasn't he? And the one at the back of the pack. It looks all right. Oops. Another quick one put in.
0.4.
It's all right though. Got the green, not an easy pot there, and he just hit that too hard. He didn't need that much pace to get through those reds. On the blue would have been better for him. But he's potted a number of balls that we didn't think he'd get. So he knocks this green in, gets down for these reds down in the left corner possibly. Well done, sir. Could have rolled up to the green, many a player would have, but took the chance.
0.7.
And then, has he got an angle here? He has, to get out for the black. Or even the blue.
0.8. $33. $34.
Needs to stick to his natural rhythm here with his Q action,
41.
of course, and his decision of what shots he's going to play. No point in rushing.
42.
You don't get any more for playing a game quick. He needs 4 frames, and if he does get them, it'll be probably the best win of his career, I should think, against O'Sullivan on the match table. Never underestimate the underdog.
49. $50.
Now, I mean, it looks a natural angle to run into that cluster of 4, but a 50-point lead, he doesn't really need to do that. But he played it. Now, is he on the red that's near the left corner?
57.
Looking at his body language, maybe not. Or does the red go to the right middle? Maybe it does. No.
Alexander Osenbacher, 57.
So he goes to his seat with a 57-point lead. You could say he was a little unlucky there. Went into the red, but he could have gone in with them a little bit more pace. Played a little bit negative. But what's he left Ronnie? The balls are perfect for a counter-attack, but it's just the initial red that's difficult.
Yeah, it's not just the pot, it's the bridging as well as making it awkward. Dead centre.
1.
First point in this frame for Ronnie. He's been outplayed.
Yeah, and he didn't score in the last frame. No. I was just about to say there's pressure on that. And now he's missed it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Don't fancy him winning this frame now. So a little bit of a let-off for Alexander. And Ronnie's going to drop 3-2 behind. It looks like.
Oh, we missed that blue, but of course we're all human beings. You know, Ronnie's been sitting in the chair for a long time and hasn't had to score many points. Watching this young man playing well. He likes a ball colour.
1.
This red, of course, on the right centre pocket is available. Cleans a whistle.
Yeah, and just the red needed. And Ronnie O'Sullivan will need a snooker.
4.
Well, what a shot this could be. Alexander Ersenbacher maybe knocking Roger Federer off the sports pages in Switzerland if he wins this match. Ronnie won't be coming back
11.
to the table now. He'll be getting ready for the next frame. And this young man is just going to be one frame away from victory.
12.
Averaging
18.
21 seconds a shot, which is pretty good. Doesn't mess
19.
around. Okay, there's been one or two shots which weren't exactly as played, but you know, you take that. And in
25.
these best of 7 matches,
26.
you can get into a rhythm. Anything can happen, and that's what's happening here. Doesn't matter about the black. Ronnie will concede. So Ronnie O'Sullivan is up against it. Alexander Ersenbacher just needs one more frame for a place in the last 16.
Match point? Surely not. We're not going to lose Ronnie at this stage after all the big names who've already gone out of this tournament. But, you know, we said it before, I mean, he just looks in good shape, doesn't he? Confident, enjoying it, having fun and making the right decisions around the table.
He is, and he'll also be thinking if he hadn't missed that such an easy red in that, you know, couple of frames ago, this match could already be over 4-1. So can't get too ahead of himself. But he did try to push the board out there in the middle of that frame. He went for a red in the middle that really wasn't on, and he did give Ronnie a chance. Ronnie knocked in a good red and left himself a bit of an awkward blue, if we're being honest. But it's a long time since we've seen Ronnie O'Sullivan miss a ball by that far. Okay, under a lot of pressure, and as Terry said, he'd been off the table for a frame and a half. He hadn't really scored a point, but you'd have expected to have got that and cleared up there.
Yeah, Terry said, you know, he had been sat down for a bit. But when you're sat down, are you looking at your opponent's shots and thinking, I'd play it, I'd do it like that, or if I have that shot, I would do it like this? Or are you just sitting there as your mind blank when your opponent's at the table?
Well, you've just got to be preparing yourself for the next chance you're going to get. You are going to get an opportunity sooner or later. So it's just, you've got to forget about what's previous and look forward to what's coming. When Erzenbacher played that red in the middle, Ronnie would have known, here's my chance to really hurt him here, because he pinched a frame earlier, he had a chance to pinch another one there, but all he could do was make sure of the red in the middle. It was an hard shot in itself, which left him awkward on the blue. It was an awkward shot in the blue, but he would still have expected to have potted that, even under pressure.
OK, we're going to update you on table 2 once again. Mark Allen was 3-0 down to Ian Burns in the match next door and heading for the exit. However, he's pulling it back, winning the 4th frame. This is the 5th frame, and this pink will give him the 5th. 6th in the world at the moment, Mark Allen. He's someone who going through a bit of a bad time by his own admission at the moment. He said he wasn't quite right, he wasn't feeling quite right going into this tournament.
No, but around Christmas, you know, he won an event, and I think he got to a semis or final of another one. He looked like he was one of the men to beat, so I don't really know what's happened over the Christmas and New Year period, but he certainly hasn't been the same player.
So, 2-3 here. Alexander Erzenbacher with a chance to win this game and knock out the 4-time Welsh Open champion.
He's good length there, and he's got it. Pretty close to that bar cushion, making the pot more difficult for Ronnie O'Sullivan. I'm not saying he's going to miss it. But he did. Tough one it was. If that cue ball had been another 2 or 3 inches off the cushion, it would have been a much easier pot. It was a good effort.
Yeah, we did mention in the first frame when Alexander's safety play wasn't that good and he kept leaving Ronnie with his hand on the table, mid-distance reds. Everything has improved since that first frame. And he's knocking the balls in, nice and clean. I would suggest worrying times for Ronnie and his many supporters. But no matter how good you are when you're sat in that seat, there's nothing you can do about it. You've no right to reply.
Nicely played. Choice of 2 reds. He's not perfect on either of them, but Black's not in good position in this moment. So a great chance. He's hitting the ball nice now, you know. It's always the same in this game when you're playing one of the top players. You need a bit of evidence that you can play against them, and this boy has certainly done it today. Can be very proud of it, win or lose.
I think there's another thing to remember, and I'm sure you agree with me, Terry, that when you play these top players, particularly like Ronnie O'Sullivan, remember the days of Alex Egan, it always seems to be a clean frame, doesn't it? The balls always seem to be in the, you know, on the spots, are available. They don't get tied up as much. You don't get as many scrappy frames with someone like Ronnie. So when you do get a chance, it's easier than it would be against some people.
13.
No, he's just looking, just seeing point in there. Can he get the cue ball in a position where he can get to that red that's just to the left of the black? If he can, that will get the black into play.
Nice touch there. Yeah, what you're talking about then, John, I remember John Pullman telling me once that if you potted a long red and split the pack open as well, Joe Davis wouldn't play against you again. And of course he was the world champion every year, so you never get a chance to play in the world championship. He used to pick his opponent, you know. I mean, he was obviously the best player, Joe, anyway, but
Thank you.
different days. Just knocking one red out at a time here and there, and the balls were very heavy, the cloths weren't so good. These days it's very
Point.
much of an open game. I think Stephen Hendry done a lot in the game, you know, changed the way players played because of his attacking, the way he attacked the game all the time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think he raised the bar, so to speak. This is tricky, particularly using the rest, and he's playing for the red in the same pocket as the black. Well, it's swirled in, and I have to be honest with you, I mean, these pockets, these corner pockets,
Point
are
7.
playing generous. I mean, normally, you hit that near jaw, they don't go in.
There's always been a hole there, John.
Yeah, but it seems a few times, well, he's played a little cannon on the black
28.
there and it's gone wrong. But at least he potted the red, so he gets to play the safety.
He's starting to play a bit too quick now. It's noticeable his rhythm is sort of, you know, he's now just going straight at the ball, playing it very quickly, not giving himself enough time to clear his mind on the shot. You won't see O'Sullivan doing that.
Yeah, you could be right, because I happened to look at the shot clock and he was, well, he's now down to 21 seconds a shot. Prior to that, he was 24.
28.
So, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head, really. He's just quickening up, and of course he's on the verge of well, an unbelievable victory. If he can hold himself together. And that will be the big test.
It's again a good length, and I felt he should have covered the reds with the yellow there and opened them out a bit. You know, O'Sullivan isn't going to play a good safety back and put you in the similar place. There you go. Wouldn't have been able to do that if you opened the pack a bit. These are the stages in a match where the top players, the O'Sullivans, Mark Williams and all them, you know, that's at the top of the rankings. They come into their best time here now, even if they're struggling. You know, they're going to be dangerous. You give them half a chance and the balls are gone. That's the difference between winners and losers.
Yeah, and you couldn't say Ronnie's struggling. I mean, both players at 92% pot success. But if you don't get the chance, as I said, there's not a lot you can do about it. He's trying to create a mistake from his opponent. But he's just flicked past the green. Okay, he may have left a chance of a pot to this red to the left corner, but it's difficult. And it's one of those, if he misses it, will leave Alexander a chance. So, if he goes for it, he's got to get it. That was tough. Now, where's the red going to run to? He's left on a mid-distance red, and you felt, with a 28-point lead, if Alexander Ersenbacher gets the next chance, it could be a frame and match winner. So Ronnie's going to have to sit and suffer.
Yes, he's already made a 72 50 pluses and 37 and 49. I mean, that's big scoring. I mean, that's not huge, not centuries, but they all add up. Ronnie gets off his chair and he's 30, 40 down. It's never easy. He's stretching a little bit here.
One.
Tell you something, he's managing these difficult shots very well, isn't he? I mean, you know, this is a big shot he had there and knocked that in now, like he did earlier on with the long red. Oops, that needs to slow down. Oh, it's just about on it.
6.
Pink is there too. You don't have to stay for the black. I should someone say it's a good packed split there off the blue, but there's no point in it. It had been the wrong shot. I don't know what he played there.
7.
He potted it anyway. He hit that pretty hard, trying to get some reds out. And he's played it again. It's very positive, and best of luck to him, but...
13.
Yeah, he was looking to bring the reds he needed into play, but he's lost the cue ball. This is a big shot coming up now. Looks to have a nice angle on this red, but so close to the cushion, it's tough. It was always going to be tough. So now, what is he left? There's an obvious red to the middle. Is there a plant to the middle? Ronnie will be looking for something easier than this, but this is all he's left with.
Falls off, please.
It was a tough one.
Yes, at that speed it was. He had to put backspin on to get down to the black there, but just hit it to the far corner, and he's having a laugh now. He's enjoying himself. Why not?
Yeah, and he's having a very close look, is Alexander, at the possibility of a plant into the right middle. Ronnie couldn't get the plant to the left middle. Is the one to the right middle on? This could be a match winner. It's in.
1.
He's got his chance. Can he hold himself together?
Well, he has so far. But of course, this is the crucial time. Oh no. No, no, no. Much too thin. There's something I always tell my players, John, you know, what you should do, you see, is you should never think of winning until you've won. And you should never think you're going to lose until you've lost. That's what he done then, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we in the commentary box can think that, but when you're out there on the table, you've got to keep your thoughts under control and your focus. So this is a chance for Ronnie.
Four.
But he can't afford to miss.
5.
And you'd think, well, he's looking at the green. I don't know why he's not playing the black, to be honest with you. I mean, the black's blocking the pocket for about 3 or 4 reds. Okay, and well, this is the most difficult of the reds, and we know how good he is left-handed, so Felt he was perfect on the green to play for this.
Nine.
We're playing the black this time, though. As I say, clears the pocket for reds. But that red just struggled in there. Wasn't clean. He'll settle for that. Never easy to judge. He's okay, he can play up for blue or yellow.
17.
Once again, we see a red that's a little bit wide, struggling in. He's not immune to pressure. Nobody is.
$19.
If you can't handle pressure, John, you may as well go and get a job.
$20.
In the professional game, not just snooker and anything. It's all about the pressure. They're all good players. But who's going to hold up here? Looking good at the moment.
Yeah, just a couple of shots
0.7.
early on in this visit that struggled the way in, but now in perfect
0.8.
position. And you wouldn't expect him not to make the most of this and take us to a decider. Just 8 points behind now.
34. 35.
A little bit careless to come too straight on the blue, in all honesty. So playing the yellow will be respotted, that's why he's playing it, but the yellow is missable, the blue isn't. The yellow was missable, the blue wasn't.
Yeah, the problem was the
Ronnie
blue was
O'Sullivan,
straight, so
35.
you'd have had to play the yellow anyway. You just had 5 more points, I think you're right there, but he fancied taking that on first. It's his choice. No, he didn't strike that well, did he? No, then I'm not quite sure if you can get behind the brown here. The yellow may hit the green on the way back up. Still 7 points in front. He's got to be careful of a double kiss here if he's going to try and play the snooker behind the brown. Big decision.
Yeah, I like you, Terry. I think if he tries to stun behind the brown, there's every chance the yellow could come off the baulk cushion and collide with the green, and he could leave the yellow on. I think the most important thing here is get the yellow safe. Thinking time, over a minute.
I think he's trying to pot it, is he?
Didn't think he could hit enough of it to pot it. Well, he could. And he's got it.
What a great shot that was. Put it
And
to the
now
side
all
on to
set
help
for
it in,
air.
John, you know, excellent. Still got a bit to do. One great shot won't win you the match or the frame. Oh,
5.
a little bit too far there. Difference is 12, so he needs brown and blue. Tell you something, if he
9.
doesn't win this frame, it'll be really tough on him because he's played so well. But there you can see again, he hasn't put enough pace on it. He only needs the blue. 16 in front. Well done, sir. It looks easy, but I tell you, when you're under pressure, everything's missable.